Man, oh man, it has been a while since I've actually graced you guys with a physical video and not audio. There is sort of a good reason for that. I have been incredibly busy. I have been working through a new schedule at work, and I've also been doing some other projects. And I also just got back from a very, very awesome trip. And it was my first time ever doing a PR, so that was interesting. But I am back. I am going to give you guys some updates on what I have been doing, what I will be doing in the future, and some little changes that I'm going to make to the channel and everything, just to make to this channel and also to the Otaku section. I am going to continue still doing the Otaku section. I think it's just going to go more sort of zero punctuation style, but no cuss words, but also like give me a chance to fangirl and also show off my skills as an artist, because I will be creating a little mini character to basically do little animations with. Like I said, zero punctuation style, you know, just like stop motion almost. But yeah. But all of that will be told in the video. This is Kat the Crowing Daughter here at the Magic Library, and I'm here to tell you guys about basically what I learned on this trip and what I will be doing in the future. So for some of you guys who are new to the channel, you guys probably met me through Comic-Con, season 15 Villainy, and I thought this was very, very apropos for me to actually come dressed as some of my characters from my books. I did Silver Crow, which is a new character from a new story that I'm doing. I don't have anything set up for her yet, but I will soon. Don't worry about that. And I've also dressed up as Luxalia from my debut novel, Arborea Lux. And a lot of people asked about who I was and everything, and when I told them I was a published author, I was able to give them a flyer. And I even had some pictures made with them after that. They asked me some questions about publishing, about writing and everything, and I just directed them to my channel. I also got to give some of my flyers to some very important voice actors that I will always hold dear to my heart, specifically because of their characters. I got to give it to Zena Robinson, who does the voice of Hawks in My Hero Academia. Chris Niosi, who does the voice of Karna in Fate Apocrypha. I love Karna. And also this trip was also very important because this convention was the very first convention that 3 voice actors were going to, and they were the voices of Charlie, Angel Dust, and Alistair from Hazbin Hotel. This was their very first convention and everything. And I got to meet with them yesterday after their panel and give them a flyer. And I also got to give Angel Dust a hug, because if you know anything about the Hazbin Hotel series on Amazon Prime, you definitely know that that Angel Dust needs a hug. He needs a hug. And I actually, funny little story, I actually screamed that out during the panel, and everybody, and some people who came to his line afterwards actually all came to give him a hug. So I was like, yay, I made an impact. But I also made an impact in more ways than one. Is that I got to give away flyers. I got to basically promote myself by dressing up as my characters, and by giving out flyers, by basically explaining what I do, and also doing that. So it helped me a lot. And also my best friend slash future roommate, Katie, she was basically my handler and also my PR person. She kept reminding me to give out that I had flyers and that I was supposed to be giving out flyers. So I appreciate her very much for that. Thank you so much, Katie. And it was very, very fun. I made a lot of new friends. That were also aspiring authors as well. One of them, his name was Luke. He is, I don't know if he has any socials. I know I've got him on, I'm friends with him on Discord. But he is working primarily on science fiction, but he's also working with a friend to basically retell the story of Medusa. And I was very, very intrigued by that, because Greek mythology was the first mythology that I ever was introduced to, and he's going with that. I did not get the name of this person, but we met Saturday night before the 9:30 panel. That was, I don't think it was Guess That Screenshot. I don't remember what it was. Oh no, it was before Anime Piracy. But it was before the 9:30. It was before the 9:30 panel. But I do know that he subscribed to my channel. That they subscribed to my channel. I'm sorry, I don't know your pronouns. If you're watching this, please put down in the comments below what your name is and also your Discord name. I will send you a friend request because you were just amazing to talk to, and also your energy was just so vibrant. And I look forward to looking at your stuff in the future and seeing if, and I'm just so interested because you were also going the mythology route as well, and I very much support you in what you're doing. So I hope you are able to flourish and thrive in the wonderful world of world building and also story writing. So I am rooting for you, honey. I also met a lot of people, and there were some people that I didn't really get to answer their questions to about publishing, and about writing. So I may have pointed you to the channel, but I didn't exactly tell you what videos to watch. I just said, hey, here we go, and it's just there. So. I hope you guys that I met at the convention enjoyed the channel and everything. I hope you guys also enjoyed the Cafe Pantheon podcast. I didn't get a chance to post the episode 2 weeks ago because I was with my mom in the hospital. She had just gotten her gallbladder removed, so I was there taking care of her. And I didn't get a chance to do one last week either because I was getting ready for the convention. So I'm also sort of running behind on episodes. So in order to pretty much give myself time to get ready with the next arc and everything. Don't worry, I will be working on it after this video. I will be doing the next episode I'll be doing the next episode for it this week, and then the next week will be the last episode, and the next week should be the last episode for her task is intermediary arc, and then we'll be going into sort of something filler-y, but it's primarily supposed to be comedy. And it's called Cafe Interns. And basically what Rosalie is going to end up having to do is that she's basically going to be training some of these, not necessarily creatures, but she'll be training them to sort of help her out at the cafe, basically tell them what's going on. You may actually be wondering what this podcast is, and this podcast is called the Cafe Pantheon. It's something that I wanted to try out because I wanted to share my stories in a more audible way. And Cafe Pantheon is my creation and everything. Think Percy Jackson mixed sort of with R.I.P.D., but not necessarily deaf in a way. It's basically this cafe owner. There's this cafe called the Cafe Pantheon, and it's an interdimensional space between the human realm and the transient realm. The human realm is, of course, where all the humans live, and they basically live out their blissful ignorance of existence. And the transient realm is basically the realm where all the gods and have all their realms and everything. I mean, like, you've got Asgard, you've got all the realms of Yggdrasil, you've got the Greek pantheon and the underworld, you've got the Egyptian pantheon, you've got the Japanese. I'm still doing some research into what ones I can also add on, because there are a lot of different pagan religions in the world. So I am going to slowly but surely get to those and everything. You do get a few mentions of them in the Her Task is Intermediary arc, the first part of that arc. But it's basically that this entire story is basically Rosalie having to deal with the shenanigans of other pantheons, and Her Task is Intermediary actually sort of leapfrogs you into that by jumping you right into the action, and she has to deal with the marital spat between Zeus and Hera, which is basically a tale as old as time as far as Greek mythology is concerned. But it's a very fun little podcast for me to do because I try out my voice acting. I also get used to reading on, not necessarily on camera, but I get used to reading on mic, and I will admit it is very hard to do because my first episode, I think it took me like I think my first episode, I think it was like only like, I want to say it was like only like close to 5 minutes, and it took me like I think it was 5 minutes, 10 or 5 minutes, I don't remember, but it took me like almost like 5 hours to actually get everything ready and everything, and it was very intense. Let's just say that. But this is a fun little project that I'm doing, and all that. So I'm very much looking forward to putting myself out there as not just a content creator, but also someone who does voice for the podcast. I try my best to do the voices for this, myself, but because I feel it's more authentic if I read it, and I feel it's sort of like a storybook fashion. But I do have there are some like special effects in there to where there's like there sounds like running. There's like the bell of the cafe door. There's in the pilot episode, there's Rosalie hitting Dionysus over the head with a newspaper, but I don't exactly say that he does. It's just a sound. But I do like what I'm doing with this, and that I'm making it sort of like I'm doing it to where it's spoken like present tense. I'm doing it like she is doing this, not she was doing this, because I feel like that sort of like you're able to follow along a whole lot more with that, and you're not exactly missing anything, but it's basically just that. And I love doing it, and I love doing it like this. I like this. This is doing that, and this is just doing that, and this is basically almost like my first audiobook and everything, sort of. But I do like doing it as a podcast, and it's very, very interesting. I was telling this to people at the con. So if you did go to the con and you basically saw me, and I was telling you guys the details. Seraphim Awakening is out. It came out January 3rd. Bloodlines will probably be coming out later this year during October. As soon as I finish that, I'm actually almost done with it. If you saw me anytime like Saturday or yesterday, you saw me carrying around like a portfolio and like 2 notebooks and everything. That was the manuscript for the entire Seraphim trilogy, of which Katie did not want to hold at all. But it was very fun to actually be able to work at it and to work on it while we had some downtime waiting for panels and doing stuff like that. So it was very, very fun. Had I thought about it, I also would have brought it I would have actually brought it on Friday as well to show people, hey, guess what? This is the story I'm writing, and all that. So and this is the first time actually Katie ever saw me and how my writing style works. Like the composition notebooks is sort of draft 1 and the big notebook is draft 2 for as far as the Seraphim trilogy is concerned. But it was very fun and everything. And I will admit this, I went over my limit like twice when buying merch. And I love Katie, but I also hate her. But I love her anyway, because she got me interested in Genshin Impact, and I actually just started playing last night. So I may be doing Twitch streams and everything on that. If I can actually, I want to say I can actually do it on my laptop. I think I can do it on my laptop. I could do Genshin Impact, and I can also do Honkai Star Rail, and I can just go along with that. But I may be doing live streams based on that and everything, so that will be that and everything. I still have a lot of prep work to do. I also want to try to get into VTubing and everything. The only thing about it is that I suck at just like drawing a character and everything. So that's why the Otaku section is moving more to a 2D format. And the little character and everything is just going to be interesting to do it that way. So it's going to be a lot of tinkering and everything. I actually do have a lot of time to actually work on it this week. I've got 4 days off if I don't get called into work. But it's going to be a very interesting journey for me going forward. So in the future, the things to pretty much expect are that the Otaku section will be making a comeback. I will be basically I will have a character set up for it. For those of you who are like from the early days of this channel, when it actually used to be known as the Otaku lifestyle, you know that I always had it, that I had a little character that was very much chibi-fied, but my art skills have grown since then, thank God, and I will actually be able to do the drawing in a more likable fashion and everything, and I will be doing that specifically for the Otaku section, the little character and everything. But I will be doing a little video on here to actually like showcase my showcase the little models and everything that I'm doing, and like some of her expressions. I don't know what her name is going to be. I may just call her Crow. I may make like a little I may make like a little mascot and everything to sort of add into here as well, like have her like sort of like a I'm still thinking and everything, because Silver Crow is a character that comes to mind whenever I think of the word crow. And for those of you who are wondering who Silver Crow is, I don't have a story for her yet. But she is going to be, I'm thinking about actually, oddly enough, doing her as, having her story as sort of a webtoon. I'm not sure yet. Don't quote me on that. I want to try it though, because that was originally how I got into Major League Storytelling, is that I loved going through webtoons and I loved doing all that. And along with fan fiction and everything and webtoons, I actually, before I even started being started this entire writing journey of mine, I actually wanted to be a manga author, and I still technically can do that. It's just very, very difficult because of how I wrote the story and everything for the manga that I was working on in college. But I don't want to burn myself out creatively. I'm trying to that scared me a little bit. For those of you who probably heard my door creaking just now, it was my mom. My mom's she's doing better, everybody. So everybody who saw my post on Facebook and everything, please give my mom some love and tell her that you're glad that she's doing better. So she's off to the doctor right now for I think for a checkup. That sounds about right. I can't remember. But the story about Silver Crow is that she is a very powerful magic user. For those of you who saw her and everything. And also Chris Neosi, who asked to hold the Scepter of Destiny. Basically her story is that she's a very powerful magic user, but she does have limits. And whenever she gets to her limit, she actually starts to crack almost as if she's a porcelain doll. And doing that makeup was actually very, very interesting, because originally I was actually supposed to be wearing an eye patch. because half of her face was supposed to have already, like her eye was already supposed to have been gone anyway. But I didn't get the chance to wear it. Specifically the reason being that it was intense to wear that eye patch. I tried wearing it for almost a full hour, and when I took it off again, I was so disoriented. But I will be doing it for photo shoots, to promote the character of Silver Crow whenever I get that story out of my head. I'm also doing, and also I was sort of chewed out by Katie for not saying this. I am actually going to be going into science fiction as a genre, but I'm also going to be mixing it with Norse mythology. I am there's the Volander. It's sort of gonna be like Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans with the Leia Vijnana system mixed with Norse mythology, but it's more in a post-apocalyptic sense. You have all of these different Gundam frames. You have the Aesir frames that are named after the Aesir gods, the gods of Asgard. You've got the you have the Valkyrie frames that are all named, that are all the names of Valkyries, and then you have the three Loki frames, the three basically forbidden weapon, the three basically forbidden weapons that are named all after Loki's children. So it's going to be very, very interesting, especially to draw them, because I'm not very good at drawing Gundams. But that'll be something to do in the future. It's going to be very interesting to do it that way. I'm actually thinking about making it. It is actually going to be. I think it's going to be a prequel to After Ragnarok, another fiction story I'm doing, in which you actually talk about, in which the children that are like created to be like these enhanced super beings actually basically rebel against the Ouroboros society and go back up to Earth and with these ancient relics. I'm not sure yet. I'm still working on it. But for any of you guys who are interested in that, I will definitely be going to Katie for advice about how to basically write all of the science fiction, because I suck at all the technical stuff. And I am sorry, Dad. I don't want to bring this to you because I don't want to bring this to my dad. I'm sorry, Dad, if you're watching this. I probably know you will be watching this later. The reason I don't want to bring it to him is because he sort of goes too in depth, and you don't read science fiction for scientific accuracy. You read it more for the adventure. At least that's my take on it. But he is going to be a beta reader for this, because he is science fiction. He's actually almost finished with Seraphim Awakening, which I'm very, very surprised, considering he doesn't like dark fantasy all that much. So it's going to be very interesting. Oh, speaking of Seraphim. Okay, so Seraphim Bloodlines. Some of you are probably wondering if you actually look at all three of them. If you got the flyer, or if you've been on my social media and you've seen the thing, you probably wondering why Bloodlines is so much darker than the other two books. And it's specifically because the events that happen in Bloodlines are going to be insanely dark, much darker than I actually anticipated. So there will be a trigger warning page. And actually looking back on it, there should be a trigger warning page to Seraphim Awakening, but I didn't think it very necessary. I actually had to explain this to him. I actually had to explain this to a mother that we met at Mugshots. So in Arborea Lux and in Seraphim Awakening, there are two not necessarily sex scenes. But there are sex scenes, but they are more sensual and everything. It focuses more on the emotions and the emotions and the feeling of touch, rather than the act itself. Which I think for someone who just came out as a form of asexual earlier this year, and sometime in December. That actually, I'm amazed at my ability to do that. But I like writing. I like reading dark fantasy romance, so I guess I sort of understand the more sensual side of things than I do the actual act. So I'm still doing my research when it comes to dark fantasy romance, because that is actually something I want to get into. But there will be a trigger warning page for Bloodlines, and there may be one for Requiem too. Maybe, I'm not sure, because I've not written it all the way out there. I've written it out, but I've not gotten to the point where I'm actually adding in all the details. But where that is concerned, Bloodlines is significantly darker than Awakening or Requiem, specifically because of the fact that it does talk about topics that unfortunately do happen in the world. It talks about mental manipulation. It talks about sort of this. It talks about death in almost extreme detail. It talks about abuse, and it also talks about attempted abortion, and I probably just got flagged on YouTube for saying that. But the thing about it is that it's because I tell you guys this for the simple reason that unfortunately these things do happen in the world, and they actually did happen in our history. There are many instances where, if you look at the traditions of some people, that in order to sort of escape shame, they almost starve themselves to where they got a miscarriage, or they would cause damage to themselves to where they would have a miscarriage, or they were essayed, and they basically the trauma that they experience from that, and there's also a lot of emotional stuff that does happen in Bloodlines and everything. I will not give you guys any spoilers, but I will tell you that Zyla has a hell of a time coming to terms with it, coming to terms with her own feelings, coming to terms with what she's gone through. And Phoenix, of course, is wanting to. He's already been feeling the pull of the anime Nexum bond, but he's not able to really do anything because she's not come to terms with it herself. He has to give her space, and he's okay with that, but he's so scared of her rejecting him, and it's so, yeah, it does in fact get a little intense emotionally, and I do have to warn you guys about that. But that's what I like writing about. That is in fact what I like writing about all of this, is that it does get intense. It does sort of let you escape reality for a little bit, but it does show you the cruel underbelly of our world, the topics that we really don't like to talk about, and the topics that unfortunately do happen. And I was telling somebody about this yesterday, that I do like writing immersive fiction for this reason, because sometimes we like to put on rose-colored glasses and just see the world that way. And we can't do that all the time. We have to be very, very mindful of what we say to people, because we don't know what people have gone through. We don't know what has happened to them in the past. We don't know what trauma they're going through, if they've repressed it, or if they're going to therapy for it. This is a very weird thing to like talking about, like beyond it. It's like I guess what I'm saying is, like, live freely. It's like, don't be afraid to assert feelings and to talk about these topics, but also at the same time be delicate with it, because it's sort of like do ballet training, but do ballet training on eggshells. And it's ballroom, or something easier that everybody can do, ballroom dancing on a ballroom floor that is covered in eggshells. That's basically what my writing journey is. Can you see the corner I've painted myself into? But I do like challenges like this. I like the challenges of, especially that that the Seraphim trilogy has done, writing it in a more modern setting. It feels. I can't do modern settings normally. I absolutely hate it, specifically for this reason. But because I don't like, it's like I know how to drive, but how do you explain to somebody that you know how to drive? How do you explain to somebody who doesn't know how to drive that you know how to drive, and then you have to write it out? It's one of those instances. It's also and also guns. I don't handle guns. I actually do not like guns. I do not like using guns, because the first time I ever tried to shoot a pistol, I got the slide bit me, and I was also like I was young. I want to say I was like 14 when my parents first took me to practice shooting at a range, and tried out that. I was like, hey, just give me a rifle. I'll shoot a target like several hundred yards away. Just don't let me do a pistol. This is why typically I like knives more. But just going back on those experiences and everything, and also oddly enough having to do research by watching action movies and everything, watching cop shows, watching Criminal Minds, lots of it. That's basically what my research is like. That's basically my entire experience writing the Seraphim trilogy, because I know I do add a little bit of fantasy into it, because I do have a lot of Easter eggs to Arborea Lux. But it is in fact very intense, and I love it. I really do. But at the same time, it is difficult sometimes, because it's like, I forget where I was going with this. But I guess my meaning is that I like to challenge myself in my writing. I like to push myself. I like to sort of like think outside the box, go outside my comfort zone, and to sort of try try things out. But I like to, and like add my own little spin to it. So I guess that's my little thing. And with that being said, I think that is a good way to actually probably end this video, because I actually just looked at my recording time. My recording time is over half an hour, and oh gosh golly, man, what I have put myself through. Thank you guys so much for watching all of this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will enjoy the rest of my content. For you guys who are coming from Comic-Con and are watching me for the first time, and this is probably your first video that you're ever watching, first of all, thank you guys for actually subscribing and everything, and watching my channel. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy my little tidbits and everything. I do have some videos that are not technically writing videos. Like I teach you how to make traditional Japanese gyoza. I show you how to fold them and everything. I show you how to make ice cream beignets, and all that. And there are more videos to come for that as well. But this channel is sort of an amalgamation of all my passions. And my other channel, the Otaku Section, is also one that I like to do. Speaking of the Otaku Section, I am going to be talking about future cons that I will be going to. I think the next one on the list is Iron City Con, specifically because Iron City Con, Kaiji Tang is going to be there, and I want to meet Kaiji Tang because he voices like 4 of my favorite characters in 4 different series, and I absolutely love this man because of his range. And if I had my way about it for the Bushigiri anime, I actually imagined him playing the role of Marito Jin, the latest on my husbando list. Well, latest before all of my characters from Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact. But but watching the dub for Bushigiri, I do love Kieran Flinton's acting and everything. He's so awesome, and we sometimes converse with each other over Twitter, in like comments and everything. You know, like very like a short, like it's almost like passing by conversations, but you know. So if Kieran Flinton actually watches this, I will be actually tagging him in the video when I put this on. When I put this on. Well, actually, no. I'll do a separate video for the Otaku Section. But it was he's just a treat, and I can't wait. I can't wait to meet him at a con one day. That's just gonna be fun. But I hope you guys that came from Comic-Con and decided to look at my channel, I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys will, I will say this, take everything that I say in my videos with a grain of salt, because this is predominantly my opinion. This is how I do things. But if they do help you in a way, I hope they do. I will also be telling you guys about some other videos that I've been watching, that I sort of watched to sort of like get myself into the mindset of writing and everything, and how to sort of handle this business. And I hope you guys just enjoy the channel. And of course, if you are just seeing me, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe to keep on track with future videos that I put out, as well as future videos of my future audio videos of my podcast. I hope you guys will go check out Seraphim Awakening and go check out Arborea Lux. Specifically because those guys are those two books are my book babies, and I absolutely love sharing my stories with everybody, and I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys enjoy the story and the worlds that I create for you. If you guys want to support me by not just liking, sharing, subscribing, and all that jazz, and also leave a comment on stuff that like you like topics that you want me to cover, whether they be anime or otherwise. I actually, for some reason, the Otaku Section won't let me put links in for. They won't let me put links in the description for all my stuff, so I usually just have to say, hey, go over to my channel and check it out that way. But it's weird. I'm still tinkering with it. But besides all that and everything, I do have a merch store that has all merch designs done by me. For Arborea Lux, I'm still working on designs for the Seraphim trilogy. Those are probably going to be coming later, as soon as Bloodlines comes out. I will be working on them over the summer, definitely. But it's going to be interesting. I hope you guys like the designs. But the link for that is in the description below. I also have a Ko-Fi account where I actually put like a few tidbits of Seraphim Awakening on there. I've not checked it really. I sort of need to, because that's sort of where I get that is sort of where I get some funding from. I actually have not been funded on there at all, but that is also in the description below. And I also have a Discord server where all of the people that are there are just absolute nut jobs, but I love them. They're my nut jobs. I have they're members of my D&D group. And my D&D group is like chaos incarnate. So expect debates on like the weirdest topics. Angie is sort of the queen of that server. I love you, Angie. She is sort of the queen of that server, and she loves sharing pictures of her child and everything. Euphemia Dawn is adorable. I love my adopted niece so much. And we do get onto other topics on there, not just writing. We talk about art. We talk about we talk about movies that are coming out, and weird things that Netflix is trying to do that they shouldn't. And basically we basically see the world for what it is, and we talk about how either crappy or how just absolutely hilarious some people are. We talk about the Karens. We talk about the Karens. We talk about the male Karens. We talk about the Florida men. We talk about the Florida men who migrate to other places and just do absolutely excuse me for cussing, batshit crazy stuff that they do in other states. We try not to talk about politics or religion because it is a safe space. We don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. But the link for that is down in the description below, and I hope you guys will go there and enjoy. And I also have a group. I also have a group on Facebook that is specifically for readers and writers. Like if you have any questions on there, you can go there. If you have any questions about writing or wanting to be a beta reader, or if you're wanting to gush and do a review about a book that you've done or anything, or just give me suggestions for stuff, please go down to the description below. The link for that is also there, as well as the links for all of my socials. For my author page on Facebook, Twitter, for Instagram, and also TikTok. I actually have to get back onto TikTok. I have to talk about the Cafe Pantheon on there, specifically because I think that a lot of people on TikTok would enjoy it. I am on Writer Talk. I'm on Book Talk and everything. That's where I get most of my songs for all my playlists and everything. But I'm also on like anime TikTok and all that. So I'm using that as my platform to advertise myself and to also do that and everything. But I also have fun on there. My favorite one has to be the trailer that I did for Seraphim Awakening, where I was literally running down the side of our property, being like, the person who sent this to you would like you to know that they just escaped containment. That I think I actually put it on shorts as well. I think I love the video. It's one of my favorites. It's so funny. I did it in 2 takes, and I was really surprised that I did. But yeah, go check all my socials and everything. If you guys are interested in buying the books are also down in the description below. And I hope you guys will enjoy it. I will let you guys know when the beta reader version for Seraphim Bloodlines will come out, and I will definitely put in a trigger warning for you guys. Because I don't want you guys to be triggered. I want you to know that. I do not want you to know that these are very delicate topics that are going to be talked about in Bloodlines. Man, being an empath sucks because I feel everything, but I feel everything. But that's for another video. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoy all the rest of it, and I will see you guys next time. This is Kat the Crowings, author here at the Magic Library, wishing you guys a very happy Monday and a very happy beginning of your week. And just be yourself and just go find your passion. Bye, guys.